Alright, alright, mic check, mic check. Can you guys hear me? I'm just gonna turn the music off. Alright, let me just check my audio, make sure the sound is okay. Just double check the setting. So yeah, thanks for stepping by, everybody. Yeah, okay, so mic is good. Alright, so yeah, this is my new channel. Okay, awesome. You can hear me. Okay, that's good. So yeah, this is my new channel. So welcome to everybody. This is my first live stream on my new channel here, U-Mergency. So I'll probably do like live stream like time to time. I think I already took I already request for a day off next Monday and Tuesday from my work. So I'll be doing live streaming all day Monday to Tuesday and also Wednesday. They gave me another off day here on Wednesday. So yeah, so next 3 days from Monday to Wednesday, I'll be doing live streaming. And then yeah, we're gonna enjoy the awesome squeeze ride. So I'm very excited for next week, and then I'm pretty sure you guys also feel the same way. So yeah, so I will probably start with the GameStop, and then I'm gonna walk you guys through with AMC and COS. Oh, sorry, not COS. Sorry, AMC and SIRI and DJT, and then I'll probably go through other crypto as well, like maybe Bitcoin. Overall, what's going to happen, and also I want to kind of show you guys Nvidia as well. I think Nvidia. You guys, as you guys know, the market makers, hedge funds, they kind of pumped all those AI stocks, and then SMCI was the one that kind of fell, kind of like collapsed, and I think next one might be the Nvidia, and then I'll probably walk you guys through, I think Nvidia as well. So I'm gonna start with GameStop. I mean, I already kind of talked about this before from my Twitter X. And so I think you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys are already, aware of what's going to happen here. But I'll just, since this is my first live stream, I'll just walk you guys through this one again. On the right side, both of them are GameStop. On the right side, it's, this is April and May. So we before we had this, huge gamma squeeze, we have to go back to see what kind of formation they created before they move up to a certain level, and then the final setup right before squeeze. So I'm gonna walk you guys through just step by step. So yeah, first one was the small triangle shape, like a Dorito, right? So we had a small triangle shape when they hit the bottom. That's what they created, and after that there's another smaller one here and start to rally here, and that was exactly May. And then there was a pullback, and then they create a 3 wave. They have a 1, 2, 3. There's third wave, and after that they push upside, right, and then pull back, and then that's the last step, last stage before gap up squeeze. And as you guys know, on Sunday, May 10th, not May 10th, I'm sorry, I think was it May 12th? Yeah, May 12th, on Sunday, exactly 8 p.m. Eastern time, Roaring Kitty, he tweeted, he tweeted like his comeback tweet, and then that created a gap up and squeeze, right? But at the time, GameStop already went through a max pain. It was already above $3, I believe, and then I think we are in kind of around the same kind of setup right now. So when you look at this one compared to May, also same setup, this kind of like double bottom setup, and then start to creating this small triangle formation, another small one, and they create another smaller one. So basically this time it dragged out a little more. It took about 9 days to create this one, but it took about 13 days to create this shape. So I think there was about maybe a 3 or 4 days delay, but that's what they did. And there was a rally and pullback, same thing, right? There's a rally and pullback, and then it also went through same this third wave, right? 1, 2, 3, and then kind of pushed downside. And now it it moved upside as what they did it here on May 9th, from 9 to 10, from May 9th to 10, yes. And that's what exactly we did. And we are now going through this phase already, this Tuesday to through a Wednesday. Now there are pullback, right? So when you zoom in, so now you look at, you already seen that, how the things are kind of forming before gap up squeeze. So now when you zoom in, this right before a gap up phase, when you look at this one, that's what exactly they did in GameStop here, right? Compared to MACD, in May 9th, it popped and then pulled back, right? Same thing happened. I mean, there were kind of twice, but basically kind of pull. It was kind of jump up a little bit and then pull back. Same algo here was using on November 18, and then that was Monday. When you look at May 9th algo here, this is May 9th algo, and this is May 9th. This is the May 9th fractal here. The thing is, this week they just kind of separate this two fractals into two, right? So instead running this thing within a day, they run this thing twice. Run this one like a small partial one on Monday, and then they run this thing on Tuesday and Wednesday. So they kind of like split into like 2 and 3 pieces of this whole algo here. And then we had a pullback. That's what they did. There's a kind of like a big pop up here, and then I think that's what they did here instead of here. So anyway, so we start to coming down, like I mentioned about on tweet. I was expecting some pullback, right? And I think that's what we just kind of had this week. So when I pull out some of the my posts here, this is my morning post today. So basically, I saw this is a kind of zoomed in, the TA stuff, and then there was like I was expecting this kind of like downside, which they did, and this is AMC. I'm gonna talk about AMC after a GameStop. I think AMC changed the fractal a little bit, and I want to talk about that today. Anyway, so now GameStop setting up gap up here. So just finished. Finished 8 p.m. So the after hour is now complete. So now the setup is perfectly same. So what we're so I'll probably just throw an arrow here so that you guys can see better. So this part was created here today. So all the setup from the beginning to the end, right before gap up squeeze, was perfectly tracked GameStop from May. It's just perfect. Just the setup. I mean, there's a certain parts where the algo was kind of slow. I mean, obviously, overall it was kind of slower than May. However, I think a lot of algo, like fractal itself, was very, very similar. So it was just I was just very astonished by that. So now we're just right there. Basically, we're just waiting for the Monday to open pre-market. I believe we could kind of watch out or what's gonna happen, how the move's gonna be on Sunday, 8 p.m. and we're gonna open up with a gap up, and I'm hoping to see this thing move up to $30 right away. So something I expect either short covering just kicks in, or something will just kind of come in and then just kind of push the price upside, right? So and then one thing I think we have to watch out for is that what is the speed of algo? I think that's the important question here, right? Well, what will be the speed of algo here? So I think we have to really watch out for what is the speed of algo. So what's the pick target for GameStop for next week? So that's something that I've been kind of watching here. Like I said before, because GameStop, I mean, I might be wrong, but because this rally part, it went about 50%, right? It ran 50% on this area, whereas this part where it's the same area, but it went through about 25%. So it's slightly less than what happened in May. But you know, you never know what the this whole gamma squeeze is gonna be. So, but based on the fractal from May, I applied to here. So I'm just gonna turn this one to blue. So I expect this thing to go for about $60. I might be wrong, but that's just kind of based on what I'm tracking here. Yeah, something around 65, 60, something about 60 to 65 range. And I know that some of the option chains, such as like 50 to 55, were open, right? It was created as a new option chain. So yeah, I think there's a reason why, right? So yeah, so I think that's the pick. But so there's a two important days that I think we have to watch out for is Monday and Tuesday. I'm gonna explain why. Let me just kind of open up the short interest data I have here. So I'll probably have to show you this one. So what I want to talk about is short interest reporting dates. This is FINRA. So if you type just FINRA short interest on Google, you're gonna find out this one. So what I want to talk about is this one, publication date. So next week we have a short interest reporting date. The one thing that you have to keep an eye on is not the settlement date, but it's the publication date. I don't know why. I have no idea why. But that's something that you have to look out for. And then the publication date for next short interest is November 26th, which is Tuesday. And what do we have on Tuesday? We have a BBBY hearing as well. That's the final BBBY hearing. I know that there's one hearing got pushed to December or something like that, but that's just only tax claim. But most of the final BBY hearings will be held on Tuesday. The reason I'm showing you this one is because if you go back to 2021, so this is kind of the data that I have collected since 2021. When you look at this option, let's skip this one. I'll probably talk about this later. I'll come back. So when you look at 2021 short interest reporting date, is the same thing from FINRA. When you look at publication date, and there's a settlement date here, right? When you look at publication date, that's January 27, right? So there's a 2 times that so every 2 weeks there's a short interest report, right? But the funny thing is, when you look at 2021 data, the squeeze always kind of happen or somewhere in around publication date. So I'll show you one here. So this is 2021 January, right? 2027. That's when the whole GameStop AMC, just squeeze. It picked, right? So when you look at this, it's the same thing. The date is short interest FINRA publication date. When you look at this, it's the same January 27. It's very interesting. Not only this January, if you go back to also February 2021, there's another GameStop run in end of February after this whole rug pull happened, by just shutting down the buy buttons, right? So when you go back to February, this thing also start running on February 24th, which is FINRA FINRA interest publication date, February 24th. This is not the end. When you go back to another one in May, AMC 2021, AMC start running on May 24th, which is very close to short interest report date in 2021 on May 25th. So there's something is very connected to FINRA short interest reporting publication date. So that I think that's something that we have to look out for. So the interesting thing that I like I said, when you look at the fractal, I show you here in GameStop, it perfectly ended up with just right before the gap up setup, right? So that's very interesting. And then last, after May, after they set it up, this algo right before gap up, and that's where we at. This thing just kicks in on overnight trading, right? And then these things just start to skyrocket, right? So this is 9:30 on Monday when it opens, right? So it already went up 100%, right? So I think we could see something very similar move on Monday pre-market, and right before opens, it could have already pushed up to 55% or something like that. So yeah, I think that's something that I'm looking for tomorrow on Monday. But I think we should hear some announcement on Sunday afternoon, maybe somewhere between maybe 4 to 8 p.m. And then drop after the market opens, because there's a lot of option traders. They're gonna sell their options. Day trader, they sell their they trace things, right? So there will be a selling pressure, and they start to roll back up, and then when he's gonna go for another final up, final squeeze, and then that will be the Tuesday, I think, in the morning, and then start to kind of sell off from then, and then dilution happen, all that stuff, as you guys know. So I don't know if they're gonna do a dilution here, but I think I do believe that there will be a pullback, right? So, and I don't know how much this time will be pulling back, but I have this indicator where, like, this is the blue algo is, by the way, is from 2020. So I'm curious if they're gonna just not drop all the way down here, just to follow this fractal, the blue fractal. It could possibly ended up around $39 or something around $40. So I think I'll probably have to really watch out for what they're gonna announce on this time, and then drop happen, or maybe they do they're gonna drag this out like this blue chart, and then they have a let's say earning, right? And then they announce some merger acquisition or something, like some acquisition news, because they have already have plenty of cash to acquire companies, right? They have like over 4 billion. So they might drop some announcement, and then usually acquire by let's say companies, or some acquisitions happen usually in a short-term period, it drop, right? And then after that, it will start to roll back, and then keep pushing upside, following the tracking 2020 algo, until it gets to 2021 January squeeze cycle here, and then that will be, if you add 196 days, let me just put it right there, there will be a June 9th. I'm not saying that this will happen. I'm just saying that we had in 2021, we had this kind of like 140 125 or 140 day cycle. So I do believe that there's a cycle here. So let's say from May 13 to, let's say, this squeeze finish around next Wednesday or Tuesday, and if you add something around 196 days for the next cycle, that will give you June 11th. So something could happen somewhere in June, right? Maybe, right? Maybe I'm wrong, but that's something that we have to look out for. And then that phase will be the final short squeeze phase. And then I'm really curious about what kind of move they're gonna make from their earning. I think they're gonna announce something. And then, as you guys know, BBY is about to come out and stuff like that. So if you guys have actually follow BBY, so yeah, that's GameStop. Let's look at AMC. AMC is a little bit tricky. Let me just drink a sip of water. Let's look at AMC. So a GameStop just track exactly same May algo, and it perfectly set it up there. The interesting thing is, AMC was tracking completely fine until today. They didn't drop. I was expecting drop like another 3 to 4%, but they didn't, and I was wondering why. right? So this was the fractal that I was tracking, and it was tracking completely fine until today. They just couldn't drop more, and I was like, okay, if that's the case, then they probably, like, I think they know what's going on, and they don't want to get burned just shorting AMC, I think, in my opinion. So I think the fractal actually changed like this. So this is the gap up area, right? And I think they just kind of parked right there, which is, when you look at MACD, this is 20 minutes and 2 hours. I mean, the reason I'm doing that is because at the time the algo was fast. And then when you look at MACD, it's just sitting right there. It's sitting right here, just cross the middle line, it's just perfectly parked there. So I feel like we are AMC short seller. Maybe they decide not to drag this out like that, right? Instead, they just kind of like, okay, they push it down, which what they did, right? They push it down, and then also move this upside, which what they did here. But yeah, they decide to park here. And I'm really also curious that they changed some certain algo here. So I'm really curious. They push down, and then they create create another one here, and I'm curious if they already finished it here. So yeah, there's a certain things that they change. But I think we are here right before. I mean, they already did a gap up, but rather than making this thing, they decide to kind of like move like this, right? So let's say in May, hit the bottom, push up, right? Same thing, push up, and they just kind of roll like this instead of pushing downside, right? And then we'll just park here, For calls, don't suggest sell Monday or Tuesday will be the pick. I mean, I'm gonna do live stream anyway, so we'll have to see. So I think most important thing is a gap being up on Monday pre-market. So that's something that I love to look at. So I think I'll have to watch out Sunday. Maybe afternoon. I'm expecting some announcement because also the when Bed Bath Beyond filed Chapter 11, they also announced on Sunday. Roaring Kitty also announced. Roaring Kitty also his new tweet came out on Sunday. Create a gap up, right? So I think something's gonna happen on Sunday. We could hear some news from Ryan Cohen. It could be announcement from GameStop. It could be announcement from Bed Bath Beyond. Maybe they'll be like, oh, we are gonna exit Chapter 11. So something's gonna happen on Sunday afternoon, or evening. So I'll probably have to keep an eye on that, right? So, but all the setup, I think we are just really, really clear. And like I'll show you about the short interest publication dates, that's when the squeeze happened. So personally, I think I'll probably wait until Tuesday. But I think most important thing is Monday. Let's say we start to gap ups, and they start to squeezing, like let's say move up to like 50, 100%, something like that. Then this is just the beginning. And last May cycle, it ran for about 2 days. So it was pre-market Monday, right? And then go all the way to aftermarket, and then from aftermarket, let's look at the chart. So even AMC gap up, pull back a little bit on pre-market at 6:40 a.m. and then pushing upside before market opens. So AMC already moved up about 20% before market opens, and really just kind of flushed out, but pushed back up so fast, and then it continued move upside. And this was the Monday here at 4 p.m. So let's see how much it went up. So yeah, AMC went up almost 80%. So If that happened on Monday, I don't expect to rally to be finished on Monday. I think there will be one more day to run, which is Tuesday. And the reason I'm saying that is because the one that I show you about the FINRA short interest date, right? So this is something that is really I'm paying attention since 2021, and then I did take some good gains from AMC in June rally because of this thing. So two things that you want to watch out for is short interest report date, and then in January 2021, the peak happened exactly on the publication short interest date, and then this month we have a short interest report date. And when you look at the publication date, we have every 2 weeks, not every 2 weeks, every month there's a 2 times that they do this kind of stuff. And then there's a one in middle of November, and there's an end of November, and usually end of the month is the one that I think something happened. So the squeeze always happen at the end of the month, but the thing is it picked on the short interest reporting short interest publication date, and the next one is November 26th, which is Tuesday. So remember, in May they gap up squeeze from Monday to Tuesday, and short interest reporting date publication date is Tuesday. And also when you there's one more thing that you will also want to think about is OPEX. So another cycle that people talked about before was this is 2021 option expiration date, and when you add T+7 trading days from January 15, so the red is the one that color in red is OPEX date, and when you add a T+7 trading days, that's the settlement date. So you have to omit this holiday, and you count it from 19. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's exactly T+7 from OPEX, right? And that's the final squeeze date. Is that really interesting? February was a little different because this is OPEX date, but the GameStop squeeze start happen on FINRA short interest publication date, which is 24th, right? So that's GameStop. It start 24, 300%. So there's something about short interest publication date, especially at the end of the month. And there's another one here. So in May, GameStop AMC start rallying it since May 24. From May 24, the short interest publication date is May 25th. So it started rallying around there. But the interesting thing was May OPEX was 21st, and then when you add T+7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's exactly June 2nd. So in AMC in May 2021, it starts rallying from May 25th to June 2nd. So that's another interesting thing is, right? And when you add this month is OPEX is the November 15. When you add 7 days trading days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's exactly Tuesday, right? So in my opinion, based on the historical data from the short interest report day from 2021, I expect that squeeze will pick on Tuesday, November 26th. Oh shit. Sorry. Sorry guys. Sorry guys. Yeah, my dog got freaked out when he heard the doorbell. Somebody. Yeah, he just kind of heard the doorbell and just got crazy. So Yeah, damn talk up, man. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. So yeah, can you confirm the May short interest report date? So yeah, that's the yeah, that's the this one. Hold on, let me just see. 1 second. Yeah, so this one is the May 24th. Oops, where is this? Okay, here, there you go. So yeah, this is May 24th. Oh, sorry, May 25th. It was Tuesday. Yeah. So yeah, in May, it started rallying from May 25th. But right now, based on the fractal, we are just right before gap up, based on GameStop fractal. So I don't believe that we're gonna rally. I mean, we should start to gap up squeeze, rather than like, rallying through here, going through another 10 days and finish squeeze around like next week. Like, yeah, I think it'll finish Tuesday. Like, it should be more like, it should be very like, explosive move. So I don't believe that we're gonna go like 2021 May kind of run. It will be more like this year May run. Like, it will be more explosive. So that's just my opinion, because yeah, I think they're gonna run the same cycle, right? So that's what I'm thinking. Oh, oh, okay. There's a new movie coming out. Okay, that's right. Okay, so those should be okay, maybe, possibly. Just 1 second. Let me just drop my dog upstairs. Yeah, hope it plays out, brother. Yeah, I hope so. I do think that yeah, the setup is already there. So I mean, there's no other fractal that they're gonna run this thing. It just, I mean, I think GameStop, like, it's, I think there's somebody behind it. Like, it could be Roaring Kitty. Like, there's somebody who's making the chart. So they already made that chart in May. I mean, which is Roaring Kitty, right? So I think, in my opinion, like, Roaring Kitty is a liquidity guy. Like, he does things that Ryan Quinn cannot do, right? I mean, he's an active investor, so he invests he invests in company, and then he worked with the company, he worked with the executive, he worked with people working there, and he transformed the company. He also worked with other people, let's say Bed Bath Beyond, or other companies, like maybe Toys R Us. He's like he's very secretive, and he wanna be like a Berkshire Hathaway. So I think he has his own mission. But when you look at RK, he's more like, he's like a trader. So he could be short term, he could be long term. So he could be investor or trader, but yeah, he's amazing at that. But he created liquidity, so I think his mission is to create a liquidity, and I think that's what he's doing. And then the May algo was something that he already, that was his masterpiece. So it's a hint. It's easy to I mean, if you're a TA guy, I think it's easy to track, because he already left those traces. So we just follow his footstep, and I think that's what my job was. I was trying to figure out his footsteps, and all the footstep that he already made back in May this year was completed. Like, it was perfectly complete this today, Friday. So I have no doubt that this will play out, just like, gap up squeeze Monday, Tuesday, and then also like like I show you the FINRA short interest with publication date. It perfectly matched on Tuesday. I mean, yeah, Monday, Tuesday, it will just kind of blow up, and that's it. So yeah, let's watch out for that. AMC is a little bit slightly different based, but the thing is, because I think there were, the short hedge fund, they didn't expect arcades coming back. So I think they changed the algo. They don't want to short. I think they're already, yeah. So I think it was AMC fractals, changed a little bit at the end, and instead of pushing downside, they decide to cover, I think. So what I was expecting was this move, they tank it down, push up, and then I was expecting to push downside a little bit, but instead, it kind of finished around here, which is the same level after gap up, right? So instead of they shorting it, because that's what they did, they start to maybe cover a little bit, and then and today, right after market close, that's what they stopped was. So which means if GameStop gap up here, AMC will gap up like here, right? And we'll start rallying it, right? So yeah, it's AMC is definitely very difficult to very difficult stock to track. They change algo, they speed up sometimes, they delay algo sometimes. It's the fractal is definitely very, very difficult to track, but I do believe that based on what I've been tracking, AMC kind of ended on, I mean, it already evolved the max pain. Max pain was 450, I believe, right? So it already finished on max pain, above max pain, which is good. And then I do believe that we're just kind of setting up right there, and then I think they'll just gap up squeeze. And if that happened on Sunday and Monday, things like that, I mean, obviously I have to look at how fast the algo is gonna be on Monday, but I think it's possible that it's gonna rally like pretty hard, and then Tuesday, I think it will be maybe touch this $19 gap. I don't know, maybe we'll have to see. So right now, these fractal is it's based on the speed of the May run, but it could be faster because they changed the algo up here. So which means that they're gonna, rather than they're doing up here, because when you look at this will finish in Wednesday, but I don't think it's gonna finish on Wednesday. So I have to I'll bring this this separate fractal here. So I think this area, I think it will be done by Tuesday, because like imagine like if something like, let's say some announcement come out, and they're gonna run pre-market like what happened before, like pre-market, like even DJT, like when the election was there, like it went up 100%, it was like down 50%, like it's so much volatility. So I do believe that we're gonna see those kind of movement, ups and down, during the pre-market and market after hours. So when you kind of factor those things in, a lot of things could happen pre-market and after hours. So instead of stretching out that like that, based on the algo from here to there, I think this algo will be faster, so it will be much more quicker. So let's say gap up on Monday, and then this is Tuesday, so we probably finish on Tuesday like that. So Monday and Tuesday. So hold on, let me see. I'm just gonna turn this one down a little bit. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, we ended up here. That's the same spot as here. So we gap up, and then they're just gonna just squeeze. We have a gap at 17 to 19, so that's something I'm looking forward to. We have a gap at $12. I mean, if we just gap up and squeeze up to $12, it's okay. I mean, that's like 150%, 170%, right? So I mean, that's okay, but I mean, I personally don't know we're gonna just run up like just here. I think we could fill this gap. And it's not that I want to wish for, but of course we have to watch out Monday, Tuesday. So let's look at, yeah, let's look out the how the algo is moving, the volumes, and yeah, I have to check all this fractal, every single thing, make sure we're kind of hitting those things here and there. So let's say, for example, let's say if this is the one that I'm tracking is right, we have to see this thing up to, let's say, yeah, I want to see AMC is gonna make all these points. Let's say what I mean by that is, let's say AMC hit let's say up here and they tank it down a little bit, there's like a sharp pullback, and I want to see those mark. That's like kind of like checklist for me, right? So because that's the algo they're running, right? So I want to make sure if I see that, and then I want to see what time this fractal is gonna happen. I want to see that, and then how much they're gonna push after 11 a.m. Usually there's a shorting going on or some stuff going on, those between 9:30 when the market opens till 11 a.m. So I want to see before and after, and after 2-3 p.m. there's a power hour, and I want to see how they're gonna push the stock price, and then yeah, let's see what price they're gonna finish at. And let's say if they finish around here, then I know that, okay, after that, let's say they finish around here, okay, I know that they're gonna, let's say, pull back. So I gotta check out all those points and make sure if they're gonna run this fast, or if they're gonna drag it down a little bit. Let's say they slow it down, so then this will stretch out a little bit more, right? So that then I try to figure out the time. Oh, maybe this can go until Tuesday. No, I mean this can go until Wednesday. Something like that. But I think it will finish on Tuesday. So that's just my target. So, but my target can always change, right? Because I'm not market maker, right? So I have to kind of follow what market makers does, because those are the guys who's running this algorithm, right? So I'm the kind of weatherman, right? I'm the forecaster, by watching their algo, by watching their speed, by watching their the volume. So I have to just watch out what they're doing, check all those checklists, and then make sure that like what kind of speed they're running. I think that's the most important thing. So, but based on the whole the data of short interest publication dates, and the OPEX plus T+7, that all line up on Tuesday. And Tuesday we also there's also a Bed Bath Beyond final hearing. So I think a lot of things are kind of line up there. So yeah, that's just kind of my target right now. What are your thoughts on Dennis 86 that Destiny 86 that what are your thoughts on AMC going to 60 on 60 Tuesday, as there's a golden pocket there right? AMC has many gaps to fill. That's correct. So I don't know who said 60, but we don't have a $60 gap. I mean, we have a $40 gap, like roughly $40 gap here. We have this gap, which is 16. I'll just call it $17 to $19. I'll just call it $20. So you have this $20 gap, $40 gap, and they left this $12 gap too. So I think first thing is when they're gonna fill this $12 gap. Are they gonna push down after that, or are they gonna continue to pushing up? Those are the questions I think we have to ask when they start running. And after that, the $60, I don't know, I think I've seen there's some gap up there. I think it's not 60, it's just $87 gap in my chart. Maybe someone else's chart might have a different gap, but in my chart it shows there's a small $86 gap and there's a $211 gap, and I do think that that's the gap that they hide, because when you look at daily, you cannot see those gaps. You can only see $40 gaps and $20 gap. So I think but the $60 range squeeze could happen, I think, next cycle, not the one that we're gonna see next week. So yeah, next one. So like I said, if you apply the pick of the May 13 to the November 20. When was it? 20 something? Like, let me see, just 1 second. Let's say the squeeze end on Tuesday, so that will be probably, yeah, something around 196 days. If you apply same for the next one, that will be June 9th or something like that. So if we have a run after this area, I think that's when you see the $60 mark. So I personally don't see $60 this Tuesday. That's just my opinion. Who knows? AMC went up 30% after Barbie and open up. Okay. I don't follow that one. Yeah, I don't follow the PHUN ticker. If AMC can hit to $12 or 17, how about holding it to by Wednesday? I mean, that's your that's your. I'll leave it up to you. No financial advice. But one thing that you want to watch out for is AMC has a huge volatility. So when you look at when you go back and look at May, what happened there? So the squeezed run happened within 2 days from Monday, gap up to Tuesday, and it started to drop, right before market opens, and then start to crash down almost 40%. Just 1 day, 40%, and then there's a dead cat bounce, and from that dead cat bounce, another 48%. So if you decide to sell on Wednesday, and if it's already fill that gap at $12, fill those gap at 17, 18, 19, whatever, and if they decide to push down, and you're gonna experience those minus 40, minus 60, minus 70% downside, and I'll probably have to leave it up to you. I don't know. That's your decision, right? That's your call. So that's why I'm so I have to be really careful, and the reason I'm doing this is because this is really, really hot. It has a huge volatile move, right? If you don't take, let's say, there's a people who play options here, or shares, whatever. But especially options, if it comes down so fast, the amount of gain that you earn will be lost so rapidly, right? So that's why before this run happens, we wanted to kind of like analyze what happened before in the past, what happened in May, what happened this 2021. We checked all those things, and we also look into the fractals. We look into the gaps, what kind of gaps they left. And those are the checklists that I think for me to see the chart and see, okay, let's say AMC start to moving, and then AMC start filling those $12 gap. Okay, what's my decision after that, right? Do I want to sell, or do I think that this will push up to $19, $17 gap here? And that's my call, right? And if I decide to make call that, okay, I think $12 gap, let's say it was filled, and I don't think this is maybe this can push upside more, and that's my call. Maybe I could sell a little bit just to take some profits, right? I mean, I have an $8 call that I bought today for next week. So if it fill those $12 gap, that already it's already above my strike price, so I could take some profit from there. But if it goes above more than that, and $19, I mean, it's even better. So yeah, it's a really risk. So let's say for example, let's say AMC fill this gap at $12 on Tuesday. Let's say that, right? And in my opinion, I think that might be a little risky for me, so I might have to sell half of it or something. I want to see this gap filled maybe by Monday, and we got Tuesday left, which means that we got a after hour and we got a pre-market, and that could push upside to this level, right? And then maybe start to crash back, start to crashing the downside when the market opens, because people will dump, right? People will sell their option. There will be a short seller shorting the stocks, naked short sellers. They're gonna try to press this one. So yeah, those are the those are the factors and decisions that I have to think about during this run. So yeah, I hope that answered your question. I mean, I have no fucking idea. I'm just, those are the indicators for me. So I have to look at those things and hey, check mark here, check mark here. So I'm gonna walk you guys through Monday as well. So yeah, we gotta look at the chart. What is your biggest win? Biggest win was it was AMC, actually, in May. I had a GameStop call, but at the time I sold a little bit early, but I got into AMC after that, and then my call went up. I already posted this one on Twitter, but I at the time I know that AMC is gonna pop, because I was at the time was continuing to track those both games, the GameStop and AMC. So my call back then in I think I bought this one in April. When GameStop tanked it, they tanked it down, around $10 after earning, and then I started to buy GameStop calls. And when GameStop rally, I took some profits. I got into AMC, and I bought May 31st call, because the reason I got this May 31st call for the first reason was because I know that end of the month there was a squeeze, so I wanted to buy the end of the month call if I want to buy in May. So I decided to buy those calls for $5, and then for June 21st, that's just 1 month behind. So I know that when AMC popped, and I know that AMC dragged out so much that it has to pop at least 100% up to 200-300%. So I bought $5 call and $10 call, and then the $5 call went up almost 4,000%, and $10 call up to almost 4,000% too, right? So those are the pretty much my big gains. So yeah, I'm and then this is my average price. So $10 call was 0.08, and this is 12 cents. And then when it kind of almost picked, the price went up $5. So yeah, it was a great gain. I love AMC play. It's huge volatility. I mean, if you lose, you lose. But if you make a lot of money, you make a lot of money. So, but I made a mistake that there's a calls that I didn't sell. I thought it's gonna go up even more. So that's the thing, when you see that, you got so excited that you didn't make a plan after that. I'm like, oh yeah, this will, after this little bit of pullback, this will squeeze. But so that you learn the lesson, right? So I'm like, you know what? I know and then now we have more data. Okay, we got the May run. Now there's a, in 2021, when you look at those back in the day, 2021, they have a short-term the cycle. I think it was about 140 days or something like that between January and June, right? So when you look at that, and I was, and it was kind of stupid of me that I thought about, this environment is like 2021, and that's my mistake, because I didn't consider that 2021 and 2020 it has much more liquidity because of the the Fed print money, all that stuff. But now, because it's opposite, it's a low liquidity environment, so I didn't factor that, and that was my complete mistake. So it took about 125 days between January squeeze and June squeeze in 2021 AMC. Now, because the like I said, it's a low liquidity environment, so it's taking way longer, and now it's about 196 days, and it makes sense, yeah, because there's no liquidity in the market, and not as much as the 2021. So yeah, that completely makes sense. So yeah, yeah, that's my thing. When you when will be the next cycle? I just said that it's June 6th. So basically, if you add let's say this upcoming rally, let's say pick on Tuesday, then start to crashing back down, then you kind of use those dates as a kind of the points, and then you add another 195 days, then that will be kind of like area where like you could see another net rally. And if we follow same AMC fractal from May, it might be different if they decide to run a little bit differently, but I do potentially see that there will be some test area zone, such as like 670 or $7 area. I mean, I think that could retest, because I think AMC pop up here up to 640. I mean, yeah, they could come down here, all the way down here to 640 range here. So those are the things that you want to watch out for. So I think yeah, I mean, you gotta be a good swing trader to make profits, and maybe you could short, and maybe you could also swing trade, right? So if that's what you're good at, yeah, you can do whatever you're good at, but yeah, it will be yeah, so you just have to add so from May to November, that's 6 months, so you just have to add a 6 months, about 6 months, so that will give you the time, like but it seems like it's like early June, right? June 9th. So and then normally a squeeze happen at the end of the month, so I think maybe next squeeze could be happen on June, end of June. And then when you look at the FINRA short interest date, let's go back to look at the FINRA short interest date. So 2025 June, let's say June, yeah, June 25th. So maybe it could pick around June 25th. That's just my guess. Yeah, I don't think we have to worry about the next cycle right now. Let's worry about the upcoming cycle, and then we can worry about the next cycle later. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Well, MC Game Test Skills Twitter, yeah, of course. I mean, that's a typical move, right? Because as I mentioned before, AMC, I was live streaming on my another channel for my my Korean community, and then some guy, I think he's kind of new into the market, and then he asked me the same question, why AMC squeeze? And then I said, what I kind of counter back and asked him, what would you think that AMC squeezed in 2021? And he answered that, oh yeah, it went up that way because maybe at the time people spent a lot of money on movies and stuff. And I kind of laugh, and I told him, so with the logic, does that mean GameStop squeeze because people play a lot of games? Maybe, but that doesn't really happen that way, right? In the Wall Street. So when you look at 2021, there was a squeeze, and and GameStop squeeze and AMC squeeze too. So I've got a chart here. I got up a chart here. Where is this one? To film measure. Yeah. So this is the chart that I showed you before. Where is it? Okay, here. So when you look at this chart, so yeah, Jan 27, it popped 400% almost, right? 460%. AMC, GameStop, almost 500%, right? Jan 27, just one day. So what you learn from this is that oh, it's not all about GameStop, but you know what's funny? When you look at costs, it popped couple thousand%, like it went up like 2,000%. And then people be like, wow, wait a minute. It's not about just only GameStop. It's this whole basket stock are just popping, right? Like cost, nobody talks about it, but this thing pop up 2,000%. You know what I mean? And then people be like, yeah, what are these things? And they start to finding about the basket, So what that means is that, those short sellers or market maker, they just kind of put all this stock all together, and they just short it, or maybe they kind of use the swap, or toxic swap or whatever. So if one blew up from the basket stocks, everything blew up together, and what happened in May as well. You see that in costs in May. May 13th, it popped, right? Not as much as GameStop or AMC, but it went at least more than 100%. And AMC went up 300%, right? How do you explain that, right? So, yeah, when GameStop pop, AMC pop, cost pop, all this basket stock pops. So, yeah, it'll pop together. Yeah. Let's look at DJT and SIRI, and then let's wrap it up. The DJT was kind of interesting here. I was looking at the same chart here from the rally. It takes about 30 days. And then it moved sideways, and then create is a kind of 1, 2, 3 3 waves. It finished all those 3 waves, and now DJT stock is kind of going through this kind of a little bit of a sideways here, in my opinion. This sideways price action around here, and I was expecting to drop a little bit more, but it didn't. So I don't know if shorts are kind of like holding it back, or just let maybe start covering. I don't know, but I was looking at this MACD here. I think we might be here, but I'm not sure. So let me double check here. So from this pop, yeah, that's here. We came down, push up a little bit, and that's right there. And yeah, we had this kind of another push downward, and I'm curious if this is here or not. I think this might be here. So it was like that. So the algo started moving faster. So yeah, I think DJT might gap up, squeeze around the same time maybe when AMC GameStop did. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see next week. So I think they're working on some of the crypto exchange. I think they're about to buy out some companies. But yeah, the fractal kind of change. Same as AMC, same as DJT. So I'm curious why they changed the algo. Or it might be this one, right? Before gap up squeeze, they hit the bottom and moved up and pull down and start to gap up. Maybe they're kind of making this thing here. So hit the bottom. Okay, I see that. Okay, it makes sense. Yeah, I think DJT might gap up next week too. You see that? So what I'm trying to say is that they drag this out. This maybe. Okay. So you see this part here? This part might be like this, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I think, yeah, they're playing something here. I don't know. Maybe it's like here or something. Yeah, maybe they go up and pull back and then maybe gap up. Yeah, so they set it up very similar to yeah, somewhere around here. I think maybe they have to draw another algo here, or that could just shoot up right there. Yeah, it's really up to them. But something will happen with I think DJT very soon too. So SIRI is pretty easy to track, a pretty comfortable one. It filled the gap here at $25.50, almost 35 cents. Yeah, they fill all this gap. There's no gap to fill. Right now it's just doing fractal stuff. Yeah, push up like a mark here. It will push up to November 25th. November 29th. So I kind of point out there. November 29th is next Friday. So let's see if they're gonna push up to $26.60. And when I see that, that will be my checklist. And then I want to see this will push downward until FOMC meeting, and that will be the final bottom, right? So I want to see those two checkpoints, and then I'm gonna buy call options right here. I'll buy probably one for Feb for this rally, and then I want to see a gap if they're gonna gap up and then push up. If they create a gap up, If they create a gap and push up, that means they're gonna come down to fill this gap like this one or like this one. So yeah, I will, but yeah, I'm gonna buy, yeah, I'll probably buy calls from here, and then yeah, I'll probably get some fab. Maybe I'll probably get 2026 dollar call, 6 January call for this one. We'll see. I think SIRI is gonna be a good play too. MSTR, I don't know MSTR. Yeah, I'm not in BTC, but I track BTC. I talked about this one before. Actually, I post this one on my Twitter. I'm expecting some pullback here. Where did I post here? 1 second. 1 second. Yeah, there you go. So Bitcoin, I don't own Bitcoin, but I track crypto because I want to see overall market. So it seems like it's tracking 2020 August, right? And when you look at it, when you zoom in, let me just zoom in here. So when you zoom in this area, you see it push upside, and then there's like a sharp pullback, and that's like about 12-14%. Same thing happening here. It start to break out this triangle formation, very similar to 2020 August, right? And then we are at the point where like, yeah, we're about to flush out. So yeah, like I believe that market maker or hedges, they need liquidity, and they have to pull out from crypto, and it could be crypto like Bitcoin. And I think those rug pull happen this weekend, maybe Tuesday, maybe Thursday. I'm sorry, I'm starting to get a little sleepy. Maybe I'm thinking about they might rug pull on Sunday, when maybe some major news comes out that create a gap up for GameStop AMC, or it could be starting tomorrow, Saturday. So I'm looking to see this kind of like just really quick flushed out like this one in Bitcoin, and I think it's gonna happen here very soon. We are happy. We're almost there right now. Maybe we're here already. You see that? It's gonna drop really quick, flushed out like 18%, and that's the liquidity graph for I think short hedges. I track XRP. XRP is also pushing up like crazy, but they have to drop. Like in my opinion, I don't think they can just continue moving like this. I believe that XRP is definitely about to rally because it already went through this whole 7 years of accumulation, but I think there might be a pullback until FOMC meeting. This is just kind of like creating liquidity for any potential short covering in the market. That's my opinion, because I track I guess meme basket stock. I post this one couple like last week or something. Let me just bring out some chart for XRP. Yeah, okay, over here. So I made a chart for XRP. So let me zoom in. So this is 2017, right? Sorry, this is 2013 to 17. They had what I learned is that they go through a huge accumulation. So I think each crypto has a different characteristic, but XRP is definitely a very interesting one because it created a very long stretched out accumulations for about 4 to 7 years. And then once they finish all this accumulation, forming all those A, B, C cycle, then they just kind of like rally like crazy. And I think that's the characteristic of XRP. And now we are at the another cycle of this massive rally here. And then I think that's what we are looking at. so I did this whole bigger picture version of it, right? So this is 2013 to 17. Whole this went through all this A, B, C, the accumulation phase, and then massive rally. Another big accumulation from 2017 to 2024, right? And then we're gonna go for a massive rally. So based on this, I mean, it makes sense that this can continue rally, but this cannot just continue push upside. I think this is this fractal is from 2017 actually. So based on this, it created this also three wave, 1, 2, 3, right? And they start to pushing up, but they can just keep going up, right? There's always pullback, right? I believe in fractal, so I don't think they're gonna change the fractal this time. They're gonna use similar fractal here, I think, in my opinion. So there will be a pullback when the crypto pullback, Bitcoin pullback, let's say this weekend. XRP will pull back hard too because they went up a lot. They're gonna drop a lot. So if they do, I do expect XRP pull back about 30%. Even Doge. I mean, there's a lot of news about Doge and stuff. But yeah, Doge also. There should be a pullback here. This is all fake out in my opinion. Like they wanna just, they want more people to kind of pile in. I don't think Doge can push upside from here. They have to pull back like this. This is 2020 algo. They have to pull back. Same area, FOMC week. December, mid-December. We should have I mean, that's just my opinion. And then after that, after FOMC meeting is done, Fed, decide, their, interest rate. Uncertainty is clear. The market start moving. So, that's just my prediction. DJT spike up to I don't know, I think what did I say here, about $300. Yeah, about 350. Yeah, I kind of wrote it there, but I don't know, it might be go less or it might be go more. Is Tuesday right after market opens? Is it safe to take profits in GameStop AMC? Sundar says, I don't know, in my opinion, because when you look at May, right, what happened in May in AMC is start to dumping Tuesday morning, right, pre-market. So also what happened to GameStop, right, also happened the same thing, right? Let me just use 30 minutes one. So GameStop also started tanking on Tuesday, right after market opened at 9:30. This is 9:30, so it just tanked like, how much is it? This is like 30%. Yeah, it tanked 30%. So I think there will be a dead cat bounce and stuff like that. So I mean, maybe you could wait for the dead cat bounce, but personally, yeah, I think, I mean, I think we have to watch out the pre-market and after hour. If they push after hour and pre-market, like let's say 30-50% like that, then you gotta be ready for Tuesday. I'm gonna do live stream anyway, so yeah, let's walk, let's watch together. Can XRP hit $10 by January? Yeah, I think that's a good question. I think that's something that I'm looking forward to. So after a pullback, till mid-December, where the FOMC meeting happening, and then once that finish, it's gonna start roll back again. And by January, I'm looking to, in my chart, it hits about $14 or $15, and then it's gonna have a pullback up to $4. So yeah, there's gonna be there's gonna be huge ups and down. How much is it? This is like 70% downside. So I think people, some short-term trader or whoever holding this XRP for a long time, maybe they want to take some profits. So maybe tanks and things like that, or shorting going on. They can always do shorting too, right? So the another funny thing I want to talk about is the XRP around June or July. I mentioned about 190 days for the GameStop AMC cycle. Look at this. Next year May, June, July, also XRP run at the same time. That's very interesting. I don't know why, but that's what it seems like. So in my chart, XRP can hit about $130 by next year October. So and then I think it will go for another accumulation and then squeeze up. I mean, it will go for a rally, but I don't know how tight it's gonna be. It could be much more faster. So I personally don't know how fast it's gonna be. But for now, that's what I'm watching. So yeah, let's see what happens. So yeah, that's it for today. I hope this is helps, and then yeah, have a good weekend, and yeah, let's I'm gonna stream on Monday, so I'll probably inform on my X that I'll be streaming, maybe 1 hour, 2 hours before, or 30 minutes before, just to make sure people know I'll be streaming. So yeah, I'll post that, and then yeah, have a good weekend, guys, and then I'll see you guys in next one. Thank you.